I'd like to call today's meeting to order, December 15th, 2017, a special board meeting. The work of the Wichita Public Schools is to empower all students with 21st century skills and knowledge necessary for success by providing a coherent, rigorous, safe and nurturing, culturally responsive, and inclusive learning community. Mike, first item.
Under public communications, no one is registered to speak. Consent.
Does anybody have anything to pull? I'm going to take that as a no. There's two items. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I've got a motion by Betty and a second by Cheryl. If you want to vote by raising your right hand so that I can see it. Passes 6-0. Next item.
Under Finance, Resolution 2017-17, issuance of general obligation refunding and school building bonds. On November 4th, 2008, USD 259 voters approved a $370 million bond issue. Bonds are to be issued for the purpose of providing funds to pay the costs of the following within the district: constructing, furnishing, and equipping new schools, upgrading, repairing, replacing, constructing, and equipping secondary technical education, physical education, athletics, fine arts, and special program facilities at schools, improving safety and security of schools, remodeling, renovating, improving, equipping, constructing additions to, demolishing, and rebuilding schools, acquiring and improving sites, making all other necessary improvements, and paying costs, fees, and expenses incidental to the bond issue. On November 20th, 2017, the Board adopted Resolution 2017-16, authorizing, subject to certain parameters, the offering for sale of one or more series of general obligation refunding and school building bonds. Pursuant to such resolution, marketing of the bonds occurred on December 14th, 2014, within the established parameters. The superintendent approved the sale as required by the authorizing resolution, and the board president executed a bond purchase agreement on such date. It is recommended the Board of Education adopt Bond Resolution 2017-17, authorizing and providing for the issuance of the general obligation refunding and school building bonds, Series 2017A of USD 259, Sedgwick County, Kansas, and authorizing certain other documents and actions. The resolution is provided in Appendix 4 of this BOE agenda.
Welcome.
Good morning, President Rohde, Vice President Arnold, Superintendent Thompson, and members of the board. We're very pleased today to bring this matter forth for final approval. If the board would recall, we have moved with lightning speed to get the process of advance refunding these bonds completed by 12/31/2017 due to federal tax reform potentially eliminating the ability to do such transactions after the end of this calendar year. And I think I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to recognize our partners in this deal. It has really been a lot of heavy lifting on a lot of people's parts, and I'd like to recognize our partners before I turn it over to Mr. Sjogren with George K. Baum, who's going to do the heavy lifting of explaining how the details of our deal transpired. But certainly we appreciate Steve Sjogren and George K. Baum, longtime partners of the district, who brought forth this opportunity and really did a lot of work in a very short period of time to get the bonds rated, to get to market, and to have what I think you'll find to be a very successful outcome for the district. We also have with us today representatives from Gilmore Bell, again, longtime partners of the district, who have made sure every step of the way that we are in compliance. All the forms, everything that we've needed, they've had ready to go. Our financial analyst that is new to us for this year, Springstead, really took us by the hand, led us through the process. Considering it was a very, very short turnaround time, I think that was a very successful partnership as well. And certainly our internal staff, Dee Grunder, Budget Director, Nani Anyancha, Controller. Tom Powell was invaluable to this process, so I did want to take a few minutes to recognize those people. And now I'm going to give the opportunity to share our good news over to Mr. Sjogren.
Thank you, Susan. Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Thompson, Steve Sjogren with George K. Baum and Company. We're pleased to be back. We were here less than a month ago and introduced the concept of advance refunding a portion of your existing general obligation bonds that were issued back in 2010. This was a complex transaction. They're Build America bonds, crossover refunding. I won't go into a lot of details, but there are a lot of moving parts. You authorized the concept. We were concerned, you may recall, about the market because this change in law, we thought there would be significant volume to compete with, and we were worried about maybe being able to meet our savings target. I just have to say that the staff of USD 259 was more than cooperative. They were great to work with and met every demand and requirement. We got reconfirmed a AA2 rating from Moody's just on Tuesday of this week. We pre-priced on Wednesday, and then we had an order period on Thursday. Springstead was great to work with, very cooperative, and I have to say it's been a roller coaster the last month. We've monitored the deal. We showed you more than 4% present value savings originally, but we were concerned. We set a target at 3%, no less than that, and that was in danger at one time. 2 weeks ago, I think we ran the numbers and we thought we were at 3.3%. Earlier in the week, we were at 3.6%, but the market really liked your bonds. They really like your financial acumen, and they like Wichita. And so we were able to market bonds yesterday. Actually, the bonds were oversold. We were able to lower the yields a little bit, and the savings, actual gross savings of the refunding, $4,765,585. Present value of that savings is $4,203,021.97. 4.203% present value savings, which is very near our original estimate, but literally volume in recent days, with many deals trying to meet this time restriction. Usually our market has $7 to $8 billion per week. We had $7 to $8 billion every day in recent days, and so we had 5 times the volume ordinarily, but people responded well to USD 259 and your obligations. We were able to sell the bonds and produce significant savings. We would congratulate you on that. I know you don't like special board meetings, and we've had to request a couple of special board meetings, but I hope you feel like it's worth it. We will save more than $4,700,000 in future debt service payments for your taxpayers in USD 259.
We thank you very much. Go ahead, Lynn.
So again, just to simplify it, we're going to need to collect less interest because our interest rates dropped on these $100 million in bonds, and so that'll mean $4.2 million of savings to our taxpayers over the next number of years of those bonds, replacing high-price bonds with low-price bonds. So perfect.
Not only interest is reduced, but actually with the pricing of bonds at premiums, we're actually issuing $95,080,000 worth of bonds to replace that $100 million.
So reducing
in
our
obligation.
indebtedness
So
as well.
principal is reduced also.
Good, good.
And I do think it's important to note, it's not immediate savings. It
It's-
won't happen in the first year or the second year. It happens at the crossover date in 2020, go forward. So
okay.
that's an important thing.
But that will give us some flexibility down the road, so very good. Well, I want to thank you, and, you know, I joined this board after the passage of the 2000 bond issue, and the primary reason for me wanting to be on the board was to make sure that we implemented our bond issue correctly and got the bang for the buck that we told our taxpayers they were going to get. So for me, and again, this is just a very proud moment that we've done this multiple times. We've continued, had staff that have looked to what we can do to save our taxpayers, and I mean, it's a good indication of just how hard our staff works. So I want to thank all of our staff that's in the room. I understand, being from the banking world, how difficult it is to do a bond project. I did it for a number of my clients. I've also seen these issuances on previous times, and they do take a lot longer than what you guys did. So Gilmore and Bell and Steve, you guys have just done a great job, and so I really, really appreciate that. So I'm very proud to make the motion that we take the recommended action.
Second.
I have a motion by Lynn and a second by Betty. Is there any other comments? Seeing none, if you'd like to vote with your right hand, passes 6-0.
I just want to say thank you very much for your cooperation. With your approval of the resolution today, a transcript will be prepared, submitted to the Attorney General's office for their approval, and we will be scheduled to close the transaction on December 28th.
Wow.
To give us a couple of days flex if there's a problem. But we're confident we can close the issue. So thank you for your cooperation very much.
Thank
Thank you.
Mike,
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Betty and a second by Cheryl. All in favor? Passes 6-0. Thank you very much.
Good job.